it is time for piano. Hello, everybody. Yay, it's like bonus piano day, so we're really excited. Thanks for tuning in today. A couple reminders before we get started though. Like this video, share this video with your network. Just hit the little button and let everybody know that you're learning a bonus song today, all right? The second thing is of course, subscribe on YouTube, right? So search for my name, Izzy Chia, and you will find my YouTube channel. I'm at like 1,300 subscribers now, so make it more, all right? Just let everybody know. The next thing is of course, go ahead and join our private Facebook group. It's called Encore Music Makers. And that is where you get like the music for our bonus songs, as well as all of that juicy feedback that you get from me in lessons, okay? If you want to join our classes anytime, that's the quickest way to get started. You can ask all your questions in the group, okay? And the last thing, of course, is I am on Patreon, right? So Patreon's pretty cool because it's like this platform for creative people like myself, and it sort of gives us a chance to earn a more regular income since I'm a donation-based studio. So if you've got like an extra $5 a month, sign up as a patron. That way you can like support these lessons that I'm doing, right? Also, I have another special going on for the next 2 weeks. If you join Patreon as a patron and pledge between $5 and $50 a month, I am going to throw your name in a hat for a free private piano lesson with me, okay? That's pretty cool because I have my private students and it's just a handful of people. So I'm putting my time to give my patrons a chance to have that one-on-one interaction. So if there's been a song that's like, you know, you want to work on a really tricky part, I'll be there to help you. So join Patreon, okay? All right, are you guys ready? I'm so ready. All right, so we're going to start with the kids song, okay? The kids song that I chose is called Waltzing in G, okay? So go ahead and pull out your copy if you made that copy from our private group, okay? Let me show you what it looks like. Waltzing in G. Awesome. Okay, so this song here is pretty awesome, okay? It is a G position song, but it's not the G position that we know as the kids, okay? We know that our left hand G position is super low, below the lines of the bass staff, okay? But I'm going to show you how to move your left hand into this new G position, okay? The right hand's going to stay the same where we usually put it, but the left hand's going to switch. So let me show you how to find your spot for that left hand, okay? I'll switch to piano view. Okie dokie. All right, so for G position, if you remember, there's our middle C, right? I'll fan out those fingers, and you see that pinky G, right hand, finger 5? That's where you're going to put your thumb, right? So that's regular old G position. Now, what I would normally say for the left hand is you would put your left hand in C position, and where your finger 4 is, you would put that thumb. But I'm going to have you switch. This is totally different, okay? So put that left hand where you normally put it for C position, all right? You see that? Now that thumb, the left hand finger 1, is on a G. I now want you to put your finger 5 on that G and then fan out your fingers. You notice it's kind of related to C position because it still has 2 empty notes in between. It's a lot closer, but now instead of C position, this is a new G position, all right? Listen to what it sounds like, okay? There it is, all right. See, it sounds a little bit higher than the G position we had done before, right? Now, you found your position, that's awesome. We have to talk about a few things before we get started though, okay? Now, waltzing in G. has something really, really interesting in it. We haven't necessarily talked about it yet, but it's something called a sharp sign in the key signature. Let me show you what that looks like. Do you see that sharp sign sort of floating in there at the beginning? Yeah, that's referring to something called a key signature, okay? We're going to learn about key signatures later, but I just want you to be aware that that's why that F sharp is kind of just hanging in there, okay? If you notice, I called it F sharp, right? It's because it's actually sitting on the F line. You can even see it in the bass clef, right? You see the bass staff line? There it is, the double dots with that sharp sign on there, okay? We're going to talk about that later. Now, going back to this song, we're going to notice a few things, all right? We have big, long slurs across the line. Did you see that giant one? It goes across all the first line, and the second line, third line, and even the last line, okay? There's a lot of slurs going on here. Now, if you know about a waltz is a dance, right? Dun, 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 dun. A waltz is always in 3/4 time. Do you remember that time signature that we learned? Yeah, 3 beats a measure, right? And that quarter note's going to get the beat. So if we were to count out loud our waltz time, it would go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Interesting, huh? Yeah. And the cool thing about a waltz is that you don't want to go too fast, because if you can envision people dancing, if you go too fast, they might trip and fall, and that would not be a good thing to happen during the dance, huh? That would be not so good. So, 3/4 time, we have slurs. We also have crescendos. Do you remember what the crescendo was? Yeah, the crescendo kind of looks like big long scissors, right? Or an alligator. It means that you're going to start quiet and you're going to get louder and louder as it opens, okay? I see 3 crescendos, 1 on each line. But then look what happens on the last line. I see a diminuendo. Do you remember that big word we learned? Diminuendo, yeah, it's like the opposite of a crescendo. It goes this way, right? You start loud and you get softer as it gets to the end of that diminuendo, okay? So that's what's going to happen on the last line, okay? You start loud and then it's going to get softer, okay? We're learning lots of cool stuff today. Okay, now that new G position that we learned, you notice that the song begins with that new position, left hand, okay? We're starting on a G, and then it goes skip up to a B, and then it skips up again to a D, okay? So if you're writing down with your pencil, you can write down those note names, G, B, D, okay? Then it switches up to the right hand. And as you look at the end of your line, I see a second. Okay, that's going to be a C and a D, finger 1 and finger 2. All right, I'm going to circle those. All right, and then when you get to the second line, the right hand just sort of takes over, huh? You have a lot of different notes here. And then I see a sharp sign. They're just throwing all kinds of stuff at us, right? I'm expecting them to throw the kitchen sink next. So many different things. Yeah, so I see a sharp sign. Look at that. Line 2, measure 3. Okay, that's going to be a C sharp. Now, we know about C sharps, don't we? Didn't we learn that funny song called The Robot? Yes, do you remember The Robot? It had a C sharp with that finger 4 right hand. It's the same type of note here in this song too, okay? At the end of your line, you have a third, a 1 and a 3 on B and D for your left hand, okay? Very good. Now, I want to see if we can play through the first 2 lines to start, okay? Turn on your listening ears and see if you can follow along in the music, okay? I'm going to switch to piano view. Okay, wonderful. So let's find that new G position. All right, so I've got my right hand thumb on G and I have fanned out my fingers. And then, new G position, I'm going to put that pinky left hand finger 5 on that G near my belly button. Yeah, there it is, right? And we've got 2 empty notes in between. All right, there it is. All right, now to begin this piece, remember, we're starting with the left hand and we're going up by skips, okay? I am going to start with my finger 5 on G and I'll go up by skips. I'm going to say my finger numbers, okay? Let's see if we can figure out the first and second line. Ready? I'm going to count off. 1, 2, 3, ready, and play. 5, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, down to 2 with the second. 4, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, C sharp 4, 5, skip to 3, 1 and 3, 1 and 3. Oh yeah, how did you do? Did you do okay? Was it a little bit tricky? It is a little bit tricky. The songs that are written in these, where I got this song, these books are really, really old, right? So I had to make sure to find something that was in your level, as well as a little bit of a challenge. So if it's giving you some trouble, that's on purpose. All right? So let's see if we can play through the first 2 lines again. I'm going to say my note names instead now, okay? So if you want to try just doing the left hand or just doing the right hand, you can play along with me, okay? Or you can just listen again, all right? I'm going to switch to piano view. Okie dokie. All right, so we're in that new G position, all right? We're going to begin with a G, finger 5 left hand, traveling up by thirds, okay? Let me count off. 1, 2, 3, ready, and play. G, B, D, G, A, B, C, B, C, down to A, C and D, C and D, C, B, C, A, B, C, D, C sharp, D, down to B, B and D, B and D. All right, that wasn't so bad. How do you guys feel about that? Was that a little bit better? Yeah, it's almost like, remember, like every time you play it, it gets a little bit easier, right? It's not necessarily meant to be super easy the first time you play it through, right? Because then it wouldn't be that challenging, right? And since we're learning like so many different things at once in a song, it's got to be at least a little bit challenging to keep you interested, right? So that's why I picked these songs, right? I like them too. They're also fun. We haven't learned a waltz yet, so it's like, oh, we need to do a waltz because it's like a dance and it's cool. All right, so keep that in mind for the first 2 lines, okay? We're going to keep going and look at the next 2 lines, okay? Now remember, each of these 4 lines, they have a lot of different things going on in them, right? The dynamics, the slurs, the chords, the skips, the jumps, different stuff, right? But we haven't really talked about something. There's something happening at the end of line 2 and line 3. There's something going on. I wonder if you noticed. If you look closely at your music, at the end of each of the second and third line, the chords here have something written over them. Do you see those? They look like little dots, don't they? Yes. Oh my goodness. So these dots, they're very fun, okay? They are something called staccato. Kind of crazy, huh? Staccato. Can you say that? Staccato, yes. So staccato notes are really special because it means super duper short. Okay? We haven't really dealt with that before yet, right? We've done legato, right? Like nice and smooth, right? But we haven't ever done super short. Now, in order for you to play staccato correctly, you have to sort of do a little bit of pretending, okay? Pretend that the piano keyboard is a hot stove. Yikes! And when you're playing it and you see a staccato note, you're gonna play it super duper short because you don't want to burn your fingers. Yeah. So it's gotta be like this. Here is an example of a staccato chord. Okay, I'm gonna switch to piano view so you can see. All right, at the end of line 2, I know I'm gonna be playing a D and a B, right? We just played line 2. That's a 1 and a 3. Normally I would say, we play our chord and we hold it, right? But we have to pretend that it's a hot stove now. Like imagine the keyboard is on fire, like lava, right? And I don't want to burn my fingers. So instead, I'm just gonna lightly press it, right? Ooh, that's pretty cool. Let me try that again. You still want to get the sound out, right? You want to play your notes, but you don't want to let your fingers stay on there because then you would burn your fingers, right? Nobody wants to have burned fingers. I know I don't. Yes. Okay, so now you understand what those dots mean above or below a chord, okay, or a note. If you see it, it means super short, okay? All right, so moving on. Line 3 is exactly like line 1, except the last chords have those staccato markings, right? And then the final line is the different one, right? It starts with the right hand on a finger 3, okay, so you can write a 3 above that, on a B, and then it has the diminuendo, right? So you're going to start louder, and then you're going to get soft, okay? We have to be able to communicate this in our music, okay? Let's start at the beginning of line 3, okay? I'm going to switch to piano view, and I'm going to say my finger numbers, okay? Let's give it a try. All right. So I've got my new G position here, okay? I'm beginning with my left hand pinky on G. I'll be traveling up by thirds like I did before, and then by step in the right hand. Remember that final chord of line 3 is going to be super short staccato, okay? Let's give it a try. I'm going to count off. 1, 2, 3, ready, and play. 5, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 2, staccato, staccato. And then it continues 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Left hand 1, 3, 5. And there it is. That's those 2 lines, right? I think I surprised myself because I don't know if I was supposed to stop at the end of line 3, but I just kept going. I was like, well, why not? It sounds nice. We're just going to keep on going, right? Well, I think it's been a really fun experience trying to get through this song. I think, though, lines 3 and 4, we probably should play them again to make sure that we really have those notes and we have those intervals and we have that staccato just right, okay? But this time when I play it through, I'm going to be saying my note names, okay? Listen carefully if you're following along. If you need to jot down those note names, if they're helpful for you, you can definitely do that. If you're ready to play along with me, you can do that too. You can take your left hand or your right hand or both if you're feeling adventurous, okay? All right, I'll switch to piano view and we're gonna do note names this time. All right. So I'm in my new G position. Yes. All right, so we're beginning there with line 3. We're going to say our note names this time, okay? 1, 2, 3, ready, and play. G, B, D, G, A, B, C, B, C, A, C and D, C and D. B, C, D, C, B, A, G, D, B, G, 2, 3. That was lovely. Wonderful work. Yeah, little by little, you're getting the pieces of this song, okay? Now, I'm pretty impressed because I threw a waltz on you, I threw a F sharp in the key signature on you, I threw staccato at you, and look at you, you're just like learning the song like it's no big deal. That's pretty wonderful. Now, keep going, right? So you're going to keep that practice up over the next couple weeks. I'm going to play through waltzing in G one more time, okay? All the way through from beginning to end, okay? I'm also going to see if I can keep those dynamics going, right? It says, it actually says mezzo piano, which is like moderately soft, so like a medium quiet, and then it crescendos up, right? Line 2, it also crescendos, and then line 3, it switches to mezzo forte. You know that one, right? That's like a medium loud. It does another crescendo, and then that last line has a diminuendo down to a piano, okay? Let's see if we can play through it together, okay? I think you can do it. All right, I'll switch to piano view. Let's give it a try, friends. Okay, new G position. Let's find our spot. My thumb is on G, above middle C. And then my left-hand thumb for the new G position will be on that D, right next to middle C. You see how close my hands are this time? Yes. Okay, I'm going to count off. I'm going to do my best, all right? See if you can play along with me or follow along in your book or your music. Ready? 1, 2, 3, ready, and play. G, B, D, G, A, B, crescendo, C, B, C, A, C, B, C, A, B, getting louder, C, up to D, there's my C sharp, D, down to B, staccato, staccato, G, B, up to D, G, A, B, crescendo, C, B, C, A, staccato, staccato, right hand, B, C, D, C, B, diminuendo, D, G, D, B, G, 2, 3. Wonderful job. All right. Bravo. You did wonderful. Woohoo. We should do a 1 second party. What do you say? Let's do it. Okay, you ready? 1 second party. 1 second party. What about another one? What do you say? Let's do it again. I'm going to do spaghetti arms this time. You ready? 1 second party. 1 second party. Super funny. Oh my goodness. What a wonderful job you guys did, okay? If you kept up with me, bravo to you. If you didn't, that's okay. You have 2 weeks to, like, make it perfect and make yourself feel really good about it, okay? That's the kids song, all right? That's the bonus song for this, for the summer, all right? I'm going to switch now to the adults and teens bonus song, okay? If you're feeling like adventurous and up for a challenge, kids, stick around, okay? All right.